make the city of Boston look?
Well, it makes them look a little bad, but it shouldn't. And the reason why I say it shouldn't is because the actions of one or the actions of a few shouldn't taint the many. We recognize that, we understand that. And, you know, I applaud the Boston Red Sox organization for coming out and saying what they said. They're absolutely right. I applaud Mayor Walsh in Boston for coming out and saying what he said, because he decried what took place, the behavior that was displayed, and reiterated that that has no place and it's not reflective of the city of Boston. But Max, I'll harken back to a conversation that I had. It was, it was on a Boston radio station. I don't believe it was WEEI. I think it was Callahan and somebody. I forgot what it was, but please forgive me. My memory is a bit foggy right now in regards to that. But it was during Super Bowl week, and what I pointed out was this: anybody who stands up and says Boston is a racist city and just passed and cast judgment against the citizens of Boston like that is wrong to do so. It's just that simple. I go to Boston all the time to watch Celtics games and what have you. The fan base is absolutely fantastic. I thoroughly enjoy going there to watch basketball games, etc. And I don't think that a whole city should be tainted by the actions of a few. However, it is also important to point out, Max, that even though folks may be wrong in conducting themselves the way that they're conducting themselves, and people are even more wrong for castigating an entire city, the city of Boston, from the civil rights days and beyond, have had a suspect reputation when it comes to issues of race. And what I said on that radio show during Super Bowl week is something that I will reiterate again. You do, as citizens of Boston, cognizant of history and how people in minority communities have labeled that city, you do have an obligation to be cognizant of that reputation, whether earned or not, be sensitive to it, and conduct yourself in an appropriate fashion moving forward to make sure that that's something that can't be attached to you presently or in the future. Now, in fairness to the city of Boston, most fans may feel exactly the way that I just expressed. And by most accounts, they're conducting themselves in that fashion, because you don't hear the airwaves or the radio waves, or television or anything else, literally chronicling racism in the city of Boston that doesn't exist anywhere else in America. You don't see that. But the actions of this particular individual and the actions of the few who were spewing the N-word in Adam Jones' direction, the way to resolve that is not just by the mayor calling folks out, not just by the organization, the Boston Red Sox, calling anybody out, not just by Major League Baseball calling anybody out. It's about the fans that are in that ballpark, who are citizens of Boston and beyond, who are American citizens, holding folks accountable, highlighting who they are, pointing them out, showing that there's going to be repercussions and ramifications for conducting yourself in such a fashion, because it's a reflection on all of us if you get away with that. If we're going to come together as a nation, as a country, it's important for us to act in unison when we see such incendiary behavior taking place. And as long as we do that together, I don't think there will be a problem for Boston or any other city in America.